Welcome to the bedoknit podcast. My name is Amy and this is my podcast where I talk about my knitting. So it has been about a month, I think, since I checked in last. And right now is like the golden hour. So things are a little bright in here. Okay, so today I have 5 whips and 1 finished object to share with you. So last episode I told you all about the things I want to make in 2025, and I have some progress on some of those, and then I have a finished object, and yeah, I think 5 whips and 1 finished object. So let's get into it. The first thing is the finished object. So I think I told you I was going to be making a SOFTIE hat. So the SOFTIE hat is made with Sandnes Garn alpaca. I think it's called Borscht alpaca. I can't remember the name, but it'll be in the show notes. But anyway, it is this really pretty alpaca yarn that is, you know, alpaca yarn is pretty stretchy, but it's also, there's some wool, I think, in it because it's not so drapey that it grew a bunch. I mean, it definitely stretched a little bit after blocking, but it pretty much kept its shape. So this is the SOFTIE hat. If I pull back, you can see it a little better. But it is a very soft hat. And you could wear it high up like this. Or rolled like this. So this is a really cute hat, and I'm really pleased with it. It's just really basic. This is pretty chunky yarn. I don't know if it's considered bulky or chunky, but it is a pretty chunky knit hat, and it is just great. It's just a nice ribbed, chunky hat, and this yarn is very soft and yeah, I really like it. The crown, I can't remember what the crown decreases were. It may have, but I think it was similar, you know, in terms of like knit two together or something like that all the way around, because it's very neat at the top. It's not like a gradual decrease. It's pretty rapid. So it must have been like knit two together or something like that. But anyway, it's very nice, very soft, and the color is great. It's just this nice pop of orange. If I stay with the orange theme, I can go next to my first whip, and that is my Sophie Shawl. So this is a pattern by Petite Knit. And the yarn that I'm using is Sandnes Garn. I'm using Sunday from Petite Knit by Sandnes Garn. So this is the yarn. And this particular colorway is called That Orange Feeling. And you can see it's very bright orange. So yeah, this scarf and this hat might actually look really good together. Maybe that's that same kind of color because it's also Sandnes Garn, but alpaca instead of wool. But yeah, Sunday, I've never used Sunday and I'm really enjoying it. I'm holding 3 skeins of this together because I think it's supposed to be a worsted weight. I think it's supposed to be a worsted weight, the Sophie Shawl. So I am not very far, as you can see. It's very, very short. But I did rip back a couple times now. I noticed on my I-cord there was something a little funky. And then one other time I found something. But this is I can see why a lot of people love this scarf. Because it goes pretty fast, and there's something about this stretchiness and the satisfaction of having that I-cord edge on both sides, and then it just keeps growing, kind of one side stays the same. This I use as my stitch marker. I started using this as a stitch marker because it's pretty lightweight. It's kind of it's a stitch holder, But I used it because it's pretty lightweight and I can easily pop it off and it doesn't get in the way when I'm knitting. So I don't know. I don't know why, but I was using a regular stitch marker and it was bothering me. And so then I switched to this stitch holder and it's been fine. So anyway, there's something satisfying about these I-cord edges. They're just really neat and tidy. And yeah. So this side up at the top does not change at all. And then you increase every certain amount of stitch rows. And then once you get to the middle, you just start decreasing. So you can kind of just like use the amount of yarn that you have and keep going until you run out of, or you get to the halfway mark with the yarn and then start decreasing. And then you use up all of your yarn. So you don't really have much yarn waste or like leftover yarn at the end. So it's kind of cool. I am holding my yarn in this Bagoo bag. And this is so cute with Snoopy and Tweety Bird. Is that his name? I can't remember, but look at their puffers. So funny. And here is my yarn. I'm holding these three together. So yeah, this is called That Orange Feeling, the colorway. And the sun is getting pretty bright. It's about to go behind that house next door, I think. So hopefully that will happen soon. And I actually just got back from a funeral from one of my very best friends. I have three to four really close friends in my life, and two of them were born on the same day, same year, and both of their dads passed away in like within a month. So super sad. I've now been to those two funerals like within a week and a half of each other, and very, very sad. But anyway, I was all dressed up and did my hair and everything. I'm like, you know what? I'll just get this podcast done because next week we're going to be traveling. And so I knew I wouldn't be able to do it then. And it's kind of the golden hour, like the sun is coming in. So hopefully this will work out. But anyway, a bit of a sad day today. But, so yeah, I've kind of been vacillating between, I made that hat and I just kind of did that by itself really quickly. And then I've been making this Sophie Shawl. And I even started working on another, it's a shawl design that I'm working on using, one of them I know is hedgehog fibers. And then this other one, I don't know the name of it, but these are the two colors. It's kind of like this lavender. Last spring and summer, I was really obsessed with lavender and yellow, bright yellow. So I'm using these two and holding them together. And here is the shawl. I started this shawl design, I think like 3 summers ago. I don't know. It's just been like a lingering whip and design. So anyway, I almost got done with the design and then I ripped the whole thing back and now I'm starting again. It's my first ever shawl design. I know I just did the Brioche Wrap, but this is my first shawl design. Anyway, and this is sitting in a Bagoo bag. But yeah, I took a big old break from it and just never really got back to it. You know how it is when you have a bunch of whips and like some are inspiring you and some are just kind of fall to the wayside. Well, that one fell to the wayside, but I still love it. And what I know I'll just want to wear that shawl with a jean jacket, like a really light colored jean jacket with that bright pop and then the lavender, hazy kind of lavender, light lavender. It's kind of like a neons and neutrals, honestly, combination, which is just so great. And I think it looks really good with jean. Anyway, I think I told you a couple of episodes ago about an Italian jumbo mug that I bought for Gina for Christmas. And I was super inspired by watching Chelsea Yarns Vlogmas. And she had this huge Italian mug. This is it. It is just this massive mug. And I just love it. So every day during Vlogmas, Chelsea Yarns, Christina from Chelsea Yarns would wake up and she'd go start her morning coffee, and then she'd go get some bananas and walk out to the chicken coop and sing to her chickens, good morning to you, good morning. Anyway, it was so sweet. And then she would go back in the house and pour her coffee into this mug or another big jumbo mug, and then get her milk frother and froth her milk, and then just like dump this frothed milk. I did not make a latte, so I'm not going to show you that, but this is just a regular cup of coffee, but it is huge. It's like when you drink it, it's like the size of your face. Okay? So yeah, I just got back. It's kind of evening-ish, and I just got back from this funeral, but I'm just like dying for a cup of coffee, so excuse me while I have some coffee. Okay. Next up, I wanted to tell you, before I jump into some more whips, I've been watching Laura Penrose. I think it's Penrose Knits or something like that. So she is a knit designer in England who you probably already know, most of you. If you don't, check out her YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure it's Penrose Knits. And I just love her vibe, and her podcast is really, really great. So check it out. It's just @ Laura Penrose _. So this is her YouTube channel. And that image up there is a blanket that she made using, I think it must be mini skeins. She's got a couple of really good patterns for using mini skeins. So if you are looking for a pattern to use up your mini skeins, she's got a couple that are just incredible. And one of them is a blanket that is just awesome. So another thing is that she just put out her Midlands cardigan. Now, when I lived in England, I lived in the Midlands, in the West Midlands, in a city, it's the second city of England next to London, called Birmingham. And it was in the Midlands. So anyway, she has this Midlands cardigan, and it's knit from side to side. So it's knit sideways. And she's got a lot of, she really takes her time and does a really good job on her patterns and her design work. And I was super inspired. I wasn't going to buy yarn this year, and I'm going to stash down. That was one of my big goals for the year, is to stash down. But when I saw this colorway of this yarn, and it's John Arbon yarn from England, made in England, from English sheep, it's English wool, I just had to buy this yarn. And I think you will understand why when you see it. If you like a chartreuse color at all, you will understand. It is so absolutely incredible. So this is the yarn. And like I said, it's John Arbon. And the color is called apple, or maybe the yarn type is Appledore. And it's a DK weight yarn. And I'll pop up an image here of her cardigan. I'm just in love with it. I don't know if I'm going to get around to making it this year because I have so much on my list. This colorway is called Golden Knob. But I absolutely love this colorway. I gotta tell my husband to turn the TV down. Yeah, so I bought 6 skeins of that Appledore. I don't know if I'll need all 6 skeins, but I'm so in love with the color. I knew I would use it in some other way if it wasn't for that cardigan. And it came with this really cool bag. And then a little button. This must be like the John Arbon logo or something. But yeah, isn't that cool? And then here's the John Arbon Textiles. This is my first go round with John Arbon yarn. So I'm super excited to use it. It's the Appledore yarn in, like I said, Golden Knob colorway. Really cool. And as you can see, this cardigan is just awesome. So super, and I want more cardigans in my life. So I'm super excited about that. And what else about that? I just love her podcast. I think I don't know if it's because I lived in England or something, but she has some really fun ones, episodes that she just posted about I think it was like a week in the life of a knitwear designer. And anyway, she's friends with the Knit Pearl Girl. And if you follow the Knit Pearl Girl, you know, she makes really cool designs too. And yeah, she's just a really fun person. She's really down to earth. She kind of tells it like it is. She's not afraid to tell you about what's going on with her. She was recently, I don't know, she'll like talk about going to therapy and like being, I don't remember if it's ADHD or something like that. But anyway, she's just like really forthcoming about herself and her life and what she's going through. And so she's great. I think you would really enjoy her. So anyway, highly recommend her podcast. And then so the next whip that I want to talk about are my Bernie Sanders mittens. So I told you that I wanted to make these mittens, and here they are. So wow, there's a lot of yarn happening right here. Okay. I made these and then I ripped them back. I'm almost done with this first mitten, but now I'm wondering if I need to rip it back again. So what happened the first time is that I went ahead and made the mitten, and then I forgot to put mark the thumb hole. And I thought, could I just cut a piece of yarn and like, I don't know. I finally wound up ripping back and then putting some waste yarn in. And does that look familiar? I put some waste yarn in there. It might be a different colorway, or a different yarn, but same colorway. These are the mittens. Aren't they cool? So super happy. And this yarn is also Sandnes garn. And by the way, I'm using Chow. I love the cord on a circular needle of Chow. They're really, really good to work with. They just don't get crunchy, you know, as a cord. It just stays really bendy and really nice. It's a very nice cord to work with. So these are like, I don't know if I went up to a size 9 needle or something. They're big needles, but it still seems a little tight on this mitten. Now I have not done the thumb. I haven't, it's like an afterthought thumb or something. And I have not worked the thumb. So maybe I should do that before I decide to rip it all back, because that's kind of a bummer to rip all this back when I got this far. So we shall see. It's just a little snug, but I mean, I gotta think my whole thumb won't be in there once I get that thumb done. So I'll do the thumb on this one and then see, is it still too tight? And I might have to go back. But you know, with color work, sometimes you have to go up a needle size when you're doing the color work, because it just tends to get tighter. And that is indeed what happened. And I already went up 1 needle size, but I might have to go up 2 needle sizes. I was even trying to like knit not so tight. But anyway, that happens with my color work. So I gotta figure that out. But I really am loving them so far. It was really, and you know, this kind of color work is just so fun to do. So every row is different, and it just, you can't wait to get to the next thing and keep going. So that's that. That's how that's going. And what else? Well, there's a little something something behind me here. This is the spring, what is it called? Oh, I know. It's the cold spring cocoon. Menopause brain, am I right? This is the cold spring cocoon, and I will just say, look at the sleeve. Can you see that? Once I get it tacked down, I mean, this is the sleeve. That thing is so cool. I'm so excited. So, you know, this is intarsia knitting because you work this panel, this darker panel in with it using the intarsia technique. So basically you knit one, like you knit this whole section in this light gray color, drop that yarn, twist it with this dark gray one, twist it, and then work this one, twist it with another ball of this gray yarn, and then keep going on the other side. But it does these cool panels down the side on the shoulder seam. And that is going to be so cool. And as you can see, I have the other side going, but I haven't gotten that far. It's just this much. So here's that little darker panel there. So yeah, this is going to be so cool. When I put it on Velma, I started getting very excited because this sleeve, I mean, that is so cool. Someone designed that and thought that up. It's very cool. So, and it's pretty thick yarn, so it's gonna go fast. I just need to get it done. But the reason it's taking a little longer than I thought it would is because, guess what? The last whip is my Book Club cardigan. It's back on the needles, folks. And here it is. I've got, as you can see, this big long needle here. It's a very small, maybe a US 1 or 2 or something like that. But anyway, I've got that. I picked up stitches all the way around. And then I'm redoing the double knit button band. And as you can see, or maybe you can't quite see, but as you can see, it's a little more straight now down here. The last time, especially towards the end, it was really curling up, and I did not like that. I didn't pick up enough stitches, and I don't know. I think I just didn't pick up enough stitches. I think you're supposed to pick up a stitch for every stitch in the garment, and I think I did like pick up 2 stitches and then skip 1. I don't know. I don't think read the directions. I just was doing my thing. So this time I was very meticulously picking up lots of stitches. I did not leave any area uncovered. I just picked up every little stitch along the way. So it's going really good. I did the 4 buttonholes and I put them a little closer down towards the hem this time, because I think last time I had a button up here and I didn't think I would ever use that up that high. And so I started the buttons a little lower and I did 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, that's going pretty well. And as you can see, it's on the needles here. And yeah, the double knit button band is very interesting because you know, like this row, you're knitting on basically this side, and then you flip it around and then you're knitting back on this side. So, you know, you slip, when you do a double knit button band, you slip the first stitch, then knit, slip, purlwise, knit, slip, purlwise, knit, and then you get to the end, and then with the last knit stitch, you do a slip knit with one of the stitches from that's picked up along the collar. So you do that and knit those 2 together, and then you go back and slip knit, slip knit, slip knit. So you're doing, that's why it's called a double knit button band, because you're knitting on both sides of this thing and then slipping one stitch in between. So it's kind of like a rib, but it's knit on both sides. So then if the collar flips open, it looks nice on both sides, which is great for a cardigan. So anyway, I love the way it looks, and now it's straight. So I think it's going to be just awesome. So yeah, I'm really happy with that now, but I still need to tack down the pockets inside. And then once I tack down the pockets, finish this double knit button band, I need to go all the way up around and down this collar, and then I'll be done with that guy. And I'm so excited. A, because I can't wait to wear it, but B, because I'm just done making the book club cardigan. And I posted on the thread, we still have a thread going from the cowl, which started June 1st. And that cowl is still going strong. The Instagram thread, there's like 150 of us making this cardigan. And people are still posting. They post other things too. It's just kind of a nice supportive group on Instagram. And that's what's so great about getting into a cowl, because you are doing this knit along with all these people internationally across the world, and you're all making the same thing. And then you kind of start to like get to know each other. And so anyway, it's been really fun to stay connected with that group. I posted this and people are like so supportive, and they're saying like, you can do it, rip it back, like you'll be done soon, you're in the home stretch, you know, and like we just cheer each other on. So it's really nice. You know, and I asked advice and people are like, oh gosh, I was really afraid of that happening. So I went ahead and made a double knit button band separately and then attached it after the fact, because she was afraid of it kind of curling up like that and stretching. And so that's how she dealt with it. So she's like, if it doesn't work out, like just know that's an option. So hopefully now this is going to work out great and it's not going to happen again. But so far so good. I could already tell at this point in the last one that it was kind of tight, and it was kind of, I thought I could stretch it out when blocking, but it was not going to happen. So anyway, those are my whips, and this was my finished object, and it's been a lot of fun. I've been getting a lot of use out of my Plumped Up Cowl by Andrea Mowry, and I think I did block it since the last time I podcasted, so now it's nice and blocked, and yeah, it'll be fun to wear this, and it'll be fun to have this with my Sophie scarf, because I feel like those are going to look really good together. But yeah, so these are, I think that's very close in color, but anyway, yeah, it's been really fun to work on all of these different projects, and it's even kind of fun to have this back on the needles, because I'm so proud of this project. And if I can it's worth spending the time and getting those finishing touches just right so that I can be ultra proud of it. And I can just wear it with confidence that it's the best it can possibly be. And after spending 6, 7, 8 months now on this cardigan, it is absolutely worth it to get the finishing right. So many times I've finished a project and it's like the hem wasn't right, or there's like some part that's not just perfect. And why not just keep going and make it the best it can be? You've already put all this time and effort and energy and money and time into it. So you might as well keep going. So that is my advice to you. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, weekend, month, and spring is sprung here in Minnesota. It's 50 degrees, 55 degrees today. It was a very beautiful day for the funeral. And yeah, one last thing is that I have some mini skeins from a homespun house that came, and aren't these colors just incredible? I have a few designs that I want to work on, but I just want to design something else again with these mini skeins because they're just so, I don't know, just these colors bring me life, seeing all that color. So anyway, I hope you have something wonderful on your needles and you're enjoying life and your knitting life and whatever it is that you're working on. And I will see you next time. Bye.